On this episode of The Novel Turtle Presents, I talked to Nick and John from the Happy Everyday Show. Hi guys, how are y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
Awesome. All right, so I have a few questions for you all to try to understand the minds that are behind the Happy Everyday Show.
Maybe I should stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prepare a little bit. All right, so first question, what is kind of the motivation behind you all doing the Happy Everyday Show, and what made you want to create these videos to begin with?
You? Me? Go, you start.
No, you start.
Okay.
So
Anyway, how did it start? We kind of just
we were
wanted
driving
to...
back from Steamboat.
Oh yeah, well we had been talking about wanting to throw a pitch together for a TV show to pitch to like Netflix or something, and came up with this idea on a car ride back from a shoot for another show, and it eventually evolved or devolved into, we don't know anyone at Netflix, so we don't know how you go up like pitching a show to like a streaming service or anything.
Or
And
College Humor, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know much about anything. So we figured let's just make the show ourselves. We were pretty antsy to have a nice creative outlet because with our job and Lux Lab, it's a lot of working for other people, which is great.
Commission work versus like our own creative outlet.
And we put a lot of creativity into those, but it's nice to just have something personal, like a personal creative outlet, and that's kind of how it turned into Happy Everyday.
Yeah, I think
Awesome.
we were hoping to hire like 2 stand-up comedians or like a B-list comedian. Like, there's no way we can afford to do that if we wanted to stay our own personal thing. So like, what if we jumped in front of the camera? So,
which we never are.
We're not used to that.
It's really awesome.
Thanks.
It's a lot of fun to watch, and just to watch you all interact and just the jokes and everything. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, thank you.
That's awesome.
Jinx.
So how do you all narrow down which ones you're gonna celebrate?
Really, it's all about what resources do we already have that we can easily film with. So we just finished Donut Day, and I have a good friend, Holly, who is obsessed with donuts. So we realized, you know what, she would be the perfect person to give us a tour around Denver and show us her favorite donut shops. All these episodes wind up being very organic because we just have friends or people who want to collaborate with us and hang out with us, and
it's an excuse to hang out with friends. Like Brandon, our friend Brandon, had a brew kit, so we're like, let's do beer day. It's
Cool.
kind of like, what can we utilize?
Yeah. Now, were you with the pizza video? Were you all already planning to build the pizza oven, or is that something you decided to do later?
I think I've wanted to build something like that for a while, and this seemed like a really good excuse. And my wife was on board, so that it wouldn't have happened without her. Because especially we had planned on doing it, and then the pandemic happened, so we still pushed forward with that because it wasn't a cheap project, and I love doing projects. So does my wife. We're always doing something around the house, so that was like the ultimate project, and it was really fun. A little stressful because there was a deadline. Most projects we do don't have deadlines, but I think it was a lot of fun and well worth it. We're great tonight, actually.
So what inspires you all to be happy every day? Like, with all the challenges that are going on and just, real life in general, what inspires you all to be happy every day and to want to put this out there for people?
What's funny is that, like, throughout history, we as a people have created days to celebrate. Halloween, Christmas, like all your typical days that deserve to be celebrated, right? But now, like you said, there's 20 a day,
right? Because
we're all looking for what's important to us to celebrate and making it like official. And so we just wanted to partake in that.
Yeah,
I think
sometimes like you said, like all the big holidays and stuff, like you don't need an excuse to like celebrate something. Like, there is something worth celebrating every single day, and even when you have a bad day, you can look back and there has to be some type of win in that day, like something to be happy about. So it's just a good excuse to have fun, hang out with friends, and just be happy, because I think we're both that baseline pretty happy people, so it's pretty easy for us to want to celebrate.
Yeah, that makes sense, and that's really awesome that you all do that for people, because I think people are searching for something like that in the world right now. So especially right now, all the time, but especially right now.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't mean to. Hopefully, it doesn't come off as like tone deaf because
there's some serious stuff going on that
Yeah.
needs to be addressed, and
Mhm.
and like really, but even like we said, even on the bad days, you got to find something to be happy about. And it's just fun to create stuff. It's really satisfying to take something from an idea through like the production of it and then to the finishing of it, and it's really satisfying to create something and complete it and see how other people react to it.
And
Yeah.
Happy Every Day isn't just John and I.
We've got
we've
friends and teams that help us out.
especially our immediate partners, John and Keegan, a
They're the
different
best.
John, with their support and like in their brainstorming, we
Mhm.
all are able to create this. Not one of us would be able to create it without the other. So
Yeah.
we're pretty blessed.
There's people we run every idea by, and like you said, there's multiple national days for every day, so we're like, well, hey, out of this day, like, does anything speak to anyone? Like, anyone have any ideas? So it's definitely not just us, it's a whole group of people.
It's kind of a group effort. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was kind of led into one of my other questions, which I don't think I put on the list, but you kind of answered it a little bit. But how do you all handle, like, when something doesn't go as planned? How do you all kind of creatively handle that? Like, has there been a time that you could talk about when something just went completely awry and you had to change the plan in the middle of things, or?
I usually throw a fit and start crying.
I have to
Nick
give
has
him a
to,
massage.
he has to talk me down from the ledge. Yeah.
It's funny that happens. I have exactly what I want to say to John here. He says something different that I'm not expecting, and I have to adapt.
Mhm.
And that's something I've been learning. This show is helping me with my personal life, adapting to the obstacles in my way.
The way you all hold your pose at the end, was that just something you did once and thought it was funny?
Oh no, so when we were in film school together, there's this great television show from the 70s. So most people have seen the Naked Gun movies from the 80s, like the spoof movies. That started out as a TV show called Police Squad, and they would do that at the end of every episode, where they would do a freeze frame, but then something would be going on in the background, so it wasn't a real freeze frame. So like, I think it was only like 6 or 7 episodes because it didn't do well. But there's one where the entire like courthouse falls around and they're down around them, and there's a fire going on in the background. So we totally just stole it from that show.
We'll get there though.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, that'd be really cool.
If we can destroy some building behind us.
Yeah, someday.
Yeah.
Well, we just got interviewed by the Novel Turtle,
And so can you.
Guys. Well, I guess the interview's over. Thanks, I had a lot of fun. Bye.